Bing bong! That's right. It's time for another episode of Table Takes. Unfortunately, I'm back again. It's me, Isabella Von Ghoul, hosting this time, which means that it's going to be unmitigated chaos for the entire episode. I do not apologize for it. I'm back again with my co-host, Javion Banzai and Noir. Hi guys, how you doing?
I like how you said my name just now, but that's okay.
I was gonna throw shade, but you know what? I'm a professional. Okay.
After last episode when Izzy was gone and Noir has been here, like Noir, you know, you were asking for this.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was on my very best behavior. Stalwart professional as always.
Can't even make eye contact. Noir, speaking of, how have you been? How's your week?
Oh, my week's been pretty chill. Got some projects on the works. Still setting everything up to move to Canada. So yeah, just having a pretty
You're actually
chill
moving
time.
to Canada? I thought that was a joke.
Oh no, I'm actually moving to Canada. Got the sibling in the apartment today. So yeah. Just
You have
having a good time.
a GoFundMe still, right?
Yes, I do.
Post your GoFundMe in the chat.
Oh, I should probably do that. Okay, yeah. I'll do that.
do it.
Noir out of the country, finally.
It's our first headline.
I mean,
Noir.
just so you know, from where I'll be living in Canada, I'll be much closer to Seattle. So
Yay.
You're gonna say that.
Nice.
yeah, so have fun with that. I can just visit y'all.
You can join our LARP.
You actually
when we get
can
that
meet him
started.
outside.
Yeah.
So Izzy can finally catch these hands.
Listen, I can
Oh
get
no, the link
hands.
didn't work because darn it.
The
We
link
have to have the if you put it in our Discord.
Yeah, I got you.
or put it on Follow Noir on Twitter. You will probably regret it, but that's
I'm a lovely person. Don't listen to Izzy.
Javion, as they
me.
pronounce it in Canada, Canada.
Yeah, they do.
Javion, how has your weeks? I heard that you've been playing with rocks.
Yeah. Emma, who used to be on the show, I don't know if you remember Emma.
Yes.
Awesome person, visionary, treasure, genius. Yeah, that person. We go rock climbing indoors at a bouldering gym where you don't wear a harness. You just climb. And then if you fall, you land on a big soft mat. And your friends are there to catch you sometimes. Unless you climb alone.
You just climb it with your bare hands?
And feet. Don't forget feet. Emma always forgets feet. I have that when she's climbing up there. I'm like, remember your feet.
Wow.
She's very tall, so she likes to
Yeah.
pull herself up all over the place. But I'm very short, so I have to crumple into a ball to to be able to push myself and launch myself up the wall to reach everything because it's so far away from me.
Is it an actual rock inside?
No.
Oh.
I mean, you could go outside and mimic what you're doing, but I like the indoor gyms because it's like puzzles. It's like a video game, trying to solve it by climbing. And
You said
also,
sometimes your friends catch you?
yeah. Well, I mean, they're there to support you emotionally, and if you go up really high, you're like, I need to get down. If you have friends, they can be like, I got you, don't worry. But
Yeah, I ain't catching.
typically people are.
I ain't catching nobody.
People go out like that. I can't. That's not for me.
I'm not about to pancake my black.
Banzai, the baby.
Hey.
Hi. I've heard that you've been following the White Rabbit.
I have. I went to when me and my bestie went to an interactive Alice in Wonderland experience this weekend in Seattle.
Wow.
I thought I was gonna have lots of tea and sandwiches, but it was a lot of alcohol. I went in without eating anything, so I had a cookie and 6 cocktails that was included in the whole experience. It was really fun though, but also I'm really bad at riddles, and apparently the answer is not that the sun fat shamed the moon, because I was like, oh, did the sun fat shame the room? That was not the answer. The answer, but it was fun, and I miss seeing my bestie, and so I got to see her. because it was one of those things that you had to get like all the vaccinations plus mask and everything, and it's socially distanced. So we finally found something to do. But also, if you happen to be in Seattle and want to go to this interactive experience, I do suggest looking it up. It's fun to go with friends. I think it's also it's a pop-up, but also they do show like their drag show people as well. So that's the sass. There was sass with that. Lots of sass.
That's awesome. You have to send me the link to that. That sounds really cool. Yes, we love that. But also, sidebar, if you're in Seattle, do not eat cookies from people you don't know, because you're about to experience some stuff. Okay.
Oh,
did something happen
to that coward?
I'm just saying, just don't take cookies from strangers.
I'll take cookies from strangers. Sometimes it's a party.
Listen. What was that, you guys? How was my week?
Yeah, what are you up to?
Yeah, how was your week? Tell me.
I don't think anybody asked.
This week was okay. I am sutured up. My organs are inside of my body. I felt my organs rearrange themselves earlier in the week, which was super cool. The doctor said that was going to happen. They were like, you're going to feel the space in which your gallbladder was. You're going to feel the organs kind of slide down. It was really cool. And I went back to work, which was great. And I've been playing this game called Twisted Wonderland. I don't want to hear about anything else except for stuff about this game. Okay. If you don't know, it's a game on the mobile devices. It's where you go to a school with, oh God, I don't even know if I want to say it out loud, with hot anime boys. They're all based on the Disney villains. And naturally, I chose the Savannah Claw, which is the house from the Lion King. There is a hot anime boy based off of Scar. He's my favorite. He's super mean. I love him so much. And that's all I've been doing besides working this entire week. And it's just been great. Just been inside the whole entire week. Thanks for asking, you guys. You're so fun.
Oh, we did.
Anyway.
I'm glad you recovered well.
Oh, thank you, Jirion.
Yes, I'm glad.
Thank you, everybody, including Noir. Moving on, we got some really cool, inclusive Gen Con news for you guys. If you guys don't know, the Gen Con has recently announced that they are going to be allowing to put pronoun badges on to your official Gen Con badges. So you can put the she's and the hers, the theys, the thems, the hems, the she, hey, theys, and whatever you'd want with your spicy pronouns. I'm trying to remember all of them. There's a bunch of them out there. And this is a really cool sort of a thing. You have to register for your pronouns if you want them added to your badge. The deadline for doing that is June 11th, 2022. So if you want to put your pronouns on your badge, because, I get it. You're like so tired of people being like, she, her, they, him, her, doing the death drops and everything like that. Like, I don't even ask me. Look at my badge and keep it moving. Okay. You want to do that instead? You got to register for a very long time. Whenever I go to cons, we just sort of we'll do it on a Sharpie, or some people have made stickers that they give out at cons, which I kind of love. It's kind of cute. You're like
little tags.
Yeah, little tags. So they're like, come find me. I have a little pronoun tag for you. And you find them, you get a little tag on your badge. But this is from the organization itself, which is saying we value your pronouns and we want people to know them and stop asking you about it. So pronoun ribbons, actually, if you don't register to get it on your badge, you can still get a ribbon that you can attach onto your badge at the convention as well. So don't worry about it if you decide at the very last minute, you know what, actually, I do want my pronoun on my badge. So you can proudly proclaim your he, your she, your theys, and your thems, okay? And your friends and your squirrel friends. I personally identify, my pronouns are goddess and she divine.
Boy.
They haven't made those badges yet, but it's on the way. I'm speaking to customer service. All right. So if you have any questions about changing your pronouns or anything like that, you can also speak to Gen Con. You can email them, or you can speak to a customer service representative about changing your pronouns by the con, before the con, or if you have any questions about maybe your own pronoun that you don't see represented and you would like to get that added to the badge. So you're not, everybody's included in this. Okay. Yes. Sorry.
I just wanted to mention if they have the official list of pronouns that will be available for the badges, which are blank. Ask me my pronouns: he, him, she, her, they, them, he, she, them, he, she, they.
Yes. Very good. All right, you guys. Going on to some news that's like good. Yeah, it's good news, right? It's some money that has been donated to some good causes, but as a side effect of some not so good things that happened. Bonsai, do you want to go into this?
Yeah. Okay. So last week, if y'all remembered, I covered the subject about the moderation issues that they had with Tabletop Simulator, speaking which with a transgender woman, saying that she was having a lot of problems and experimenting with the fact and doing a very in-depth, basically investigation on whether or not the moderation was fair across the board, finding lots of discrepancies, calling out on basically on this 30-page document of Tabletop Simulator. Tabletop Simulator then responding with an apology and temporarily taking down global chat. Now it seems that Tabletop Simulator basically was like, all right, no, this is just too much. Let's just take out global chat. My own personal opinions of that subject was any game, no matter what, global chat is always just a toxic area. When you let the internet do whatever they want, it's great. No, it's not. So in that example, they issued a second apology. This is Tabletop Simulator. Issued a second apology, removing all global chat permanently. They are also donating $10,000 to the National Center of Transgender Equality. They also be running a series of blog posts and websites dedicating to the Tabletop Simulator community from LGBTQ plus creators. And they also will be updating their moderation policy as well. I see this as good news. A lot of folks again, have still mixed feelings. I try to be a little bit optimistic about this. I feel like, yes, this is a step in the right direction. They acknowledged that they did something wrong. And I hope that we can improve from here. That's basic. Not to erase hey, yeah, this is something really messed up they did. They try to silence the voices of the queer community in many ways by this mistaken moderation, Bob, anything that says they're gay or trans was that policy. But yes, this is good, but still improvements should always be hopefully made. I don't know what else the rest of you all feel.
It's a step. In the right direction. I'm glad that they followed it back up with money, that they donated $10,000. It's always for me a question of putting your money where your mouth is. But at the same time, that if you ask a marginalized person about their experiences in chat, just listen to them because they can tell you a lot of stuff about what goes on in those chats and how to not do a bad or harm. And so, I will credit them for trying to fix something. But it really sucks. If anybody's gone through these sort of things where you've been doxxed or harassed or anything like that, it sucks so bad. And it sucks that it happens so much in gaming. But maybe they'll pay more attention to it now that it cost them $10,000.
I always try to manage my expectations when it comes to business does bad thing and now tries to make up for it. So, I see an acknowledgement and I see change, right? Yeah. So, I try not to put my expectations super, super high, but then again, there's always more that you can do, right? So like what you were saying with like actually listening to people who are like telling you what their experiences were and like what they want, like in terms of change, I think that's a good step for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Now we're going on to our favorite new segment, where we are going to talk to an expert, a certified expert in the field of cryptocurrency, crypto banking, and NFTs. We're so honored and so privileged to have this person on our show. Noir, please, our resident NFT expert, please explain to us this new news.
All right, let's get into it. Y'all know what time it is. It's
I
NFT
knew you were
time.
doing something with your hands. I knew it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So Exploding Kittens becomes the latest board game maker to get into NFTs. Exploding Kittens is giving away 10 promotional NFTs for their game Happy Salmon. It's some partnership with Glowforge, so the 10 NFTs are laser cut patterns to print them with the Glowforge or other laser cutters.
So then they're not NFTs.
Hey, no, they are NFTs. All right.
But you can print them out. That's not an NFT.
Uh-huh.
I thought an NFT was a non-fungible.
Yeah. I mean, you can't fudge it.
Okay, but what is funging? What does fungible mean, though?
It means you can't funge it.
Right, but if it's fungible,
the token can't be funged.
Right, but if you print it out, that makes it fungible.
Does it?
Yes, that's the definition.
Really?
Of fungible.
You got a coin next to you? I want you to fudge that coin right now. Fudge it in front of everybody on the camera.
It's not that kind of stream.
Fudge it for us.
Yeah.
Don't Google funging.
No.
I don't get this. I'm gonna be very honest with you guys.
If you like laser cut items and bad decisions, you should probably look into this news. If you're interested in seeing Isabel fudge on stream later.
That's a later stream.
Follow our Twitter.
It's a stream, and you will need a token to see that stream. Why, you guys? I don't know.
Have you played Happy Salmon?
No, I played Exploding Kittens.
There's Happy Salmon too. Exploding Kittens is the company that makes it.
Yeah.
Happy Salmon is the IP that's getting the NFTs.
So I
know all about it.
You're gonna buy this.
They're also a Seattle-based company, correct?
No.
This is by the oatmeal, right?
No. The oatmeal is very similar. Exploding Kittens is its own thing.
Yeah, it's its own thing.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think it is. If anything, if you erase just the NFTs, this is just a promotional, like, only 10 of these will ever be made gift.
Only 10.
Only 10.
And they're NFTs. Get in on that.
The oatmeal made Exploding Kittens, and Exploding Kittens is its own thing separate from the oatmeal now.
Okay.
It's just, I just wish that you didn't have to run a bunch of cars or a bunch of servers in China in order for you to get some laser cut patterns. That's it.
Listen, the environment can take it. Global warming.
Moving on. Some good news. Green Ronin was actually mute yourself. Green Ronin, which is actually a Seattle-based company, is going to be doing a new RPG called Cthulhu Awakens. And in this new RPG, they are trying to transcend some of the cosmic racism that accompanies a lot of H.P. Lovecraft's materials. If you're not familiar with H.P. Lovecraft, do not Google him. Do not Google anything about him. Do not Google anything about him or the names of his pets. Do not do that. Okay.
Don't do it, please. I fell for that trap. They said don't, and I did, and I regret it.
Don't do it.
It was hilarious.
It was not funny.
Do it, you coward.
Javion. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. No more.
No, go back to like you said before. Javion, how could you?
It's like my mom. You have to yell at all my kids. It's if you don't know, H.P. Lovecraft has a deeply problematic, deeply racist history. He was this is for your beliefs about separating the art from the artist. There is no separation of the art from the artist. He was a racist and his work was very racist. But at the same time, the Lovecraft mythos, Cthulhu, is really, really popular. It's in a lot of games. There's TV shows, there's movies. Cosmic horror has really impacted a lot of the mainstream ideas about science fiction and things like that. We're not getting rid of H.P. Lovecraft anytime soon, but we are trying to reconcile with how do you enjoy his works without also bringing in his racism. So that's really what...
Hey, one more time, please.
Racism?
Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure.
It's how they pronounce it in Canada. Green Ronin Publishing, which is based here in Seattle, is trying to do that. The Kickstarter will go open on February 15th. Green Ronin is also the publisher behind the Expanse game and Dragon Age. So they have experience. They know what they're doing. They have a large team made up of diverse and very accomplished writers, creators who are going to be helping them with writing a Lovecraftian game that they say will be, quote, have a more inclusive setting, which I guess means not Maine, and with, quote, distinct visions of the mythos that provides a new springboard for cosmic horror role-playing. And I will say, these past few years, there's been a bunch of like Lovecraftian stuff that's been taken on by people of color, specifically Black people.
Lovecraft Country,
which is great. Yeah. There's another book called The Ballad of Black Tom, which I love, which is one of the best Lovecraftian horror books written by a Black person. And it's been having a redo these past years, and I'm glad to see that gaming is also trying to do that. How about you guys? Do you guys feel optimistic about this?
I love whenever we take stuff from races.
We didn't steal it. We are.
I mean, like, I feel like we're jacking it from them, and I'm happy about that.
Actually, you're right about that. Steal stuff from old races.
I like it. I like it because there is just so much things that people don't realize, and they're just like, no, I never saw it as that way. But yeah, realizing, hey, there's a lot of problems with a lot of our old media and a lot of stuff, and just recognizing that and kind of putting a new spin with it, also just making it more palatable for everybody, because it opens more doors, opens all the doors.
He had too cool of a name to be racist. Like, Lovecraft is a dope name. I hate to admit it. Yeah. So let's just take his stuff.
The dog agrees.
Yes. Animals love me.
Moving on to some also old-timey news. This is the old-timiest of news, what probably also goes further than the concept of race. Javion, do you have some old game news?
Yeah, thank you for that transition.
She's doing.
So recently uncovered by a team from the University of Warsaw, they announced it last week. They completed work on an ancient settlement in northern Oman. Yeah, they found all kinds of cool stuff in this archaeological dig site, but they found a board game. We are pretty sure it's a board game. Looking at the photo, it kind of looks like a big slab of rock with like holes cut into it, which I mean, yeah. Looks like a board game, looks like Mancala. That's what people are speculating that it might have been, either Mancala or backgammon. Although the earliest evidence we actually have of Mancala was actually in, I think, like 600 or 700 AD or something like that, which is way older than the settlement, which is supposed to be dated somewhere between 2000 and 2600 BCE. So it is a potential contemporary of the royal game of Ur, which is known as the oldest board, or one of the oldest board games in history. So it's a pretty cool find. And you're free to speculate on whatever you think that it was supposed to be for when they made it. It could have been just a freak accident. Somebody like accidentally was like sticking pythons down to try to make a new house or something. I don't know. But I liked it. I think it looks pretty cool, and I think it's probably a board game.
I mean, like, what else are you gonna do? You know, you've invented fire. The wheel has been around for a hot minute. You know, you got your bread. Your hut has been made. What I'm assuming was around. You didn't have Instagram.
Yeah.
You know, so you might as well. You got the loincloth. The streets. Everybody loves that. You know, the spear.
Right.
Bronze has already hit.
You know, Mancala actually used to be played with seeds, and people would, trade with their seeds and their grains and things like that. So this could have been like a device for gambling back in the day.
Yeah.
First casino.
Yeah, I mean, I love this kind of stuff. I love archaeology. And I think this idea that like we have always been the same. We've always been inventive, creative, and bored. And I think that like trying to invent the idea that the board game has been going on for a while, of course. I mean, like, what else are you going to do? You figured out that the sun sets and the moon. That's you. You match the stars. You said there's a man up there somewhere. Now what are we gonna do, Steve? And then Steve's like and then you made this, and I get it. That's history, you guys.
It's history.
Yep. I went to a public Texas school, so anyway, that's why my history is rough. Anyway,
Man, Jesus wrote the dinosaurs. I'm sorry.
Jesus wrote a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Tyrannosaurus.
Send it to heaven on the back of a pterodactyl.
He was Tyrone. He was
the pterodactyl.
We got, and then people willingly came over from Africa to work for us because they wanted to. That's the Texas public education that I got. Our schooling is rough, you guys.
What schooling? It's prison training.
Anyway, moving on. That was so real. You've probably seen this, you guys. There is a new animated show based off of the Critical Role phenomenon that has been hitting the air. Yeah, you heard me. That was French. Brought to you by Amazon Prime. Sidebar. Do you see the release? They did the little teaser for the Lord of the Rings Amazon show.
Oh yeah, I saw it. It was really cool. As a crafting person, I'm sorry. Hello.
I'm so excited.
It was all real. It was all real. They actually.
Oh my god. That has nothing to do with anything. I'm just very excited for.
I'm just over here waiting to get to my story. That's all.
Sorry. I'm just very excited for elves. Critical Role has a new show called The Legend of Vox Machina.
Oh, I was trying to save you from that.
That's her name. I went to high school with her, Vox Machina. And you've probably all seen the trailer. If you haven't seen the trailer, where have you been? Noir, do you have some more details about the casting of this show?
I might. So
you definitely do, because it's written down in front of you.
No, don't tell her we have a script. All the news comes straight from the top. We freestyle news here at TableTakes.
That's us. That's what we're known for. Freestyle
99% accuracy every time, baby.
We memorize it. We all memorize it.
We know the news before it happens, and I got to tell you, what happens next with Wizards is a little weird and a touch sticky. But that's not the story right now. The story right now is that the Legend of Vox Machina announced some of their cast, and it is amazing. With Amazon Prime Video and Critical Role's highly anticipated The Legend of Vox Machina set to hit the streaming service on January 28th. That's 7 days, critters. Viewers were in for an excellent surprise when the series was given the spotlight during Fanimation Week, which is this week, event for Amazon's Phenology. Along with the core Critical Role cast, the series seems will have some major talent coming from Stephanie Beatrice, David Tennant. That's right. The second best doctor, Matt Smith, always in my heart.
Dr. Whom? Dr. Hoomst himself.
Yeah, fucking stage.
No!
I'm sorry.
You're supposed to bleep it.
You gotta bleep it. There goes our rating.
Dang it, we're gonna get canceled.
We're fired it. Tony Hill, Carrie Payton, Mason Alexander Park, and many, many more.
Show's off the rails.
Not my fault. It's yours.
Yes, wait. Stephanie, wait, what's her name? Stephanie
Beatrice. I just said it.
You yell at me. She's wait, is this the same person from
Yeah, she's
Encanto?
Maribel from Encanto.
Yes.
Oh.
That's all I wanted to know.
That's the only person you care about.
Yeah, what? Encanto, baby. We don't talk about Bruno.
I'm so sick. Everybody's seeing this movie but me. I swear.
You need to go see it, James.
I have nobody to
Like
blame
we
but myself.
stopping you from seeing it.
I know.
Go
I know.
now. Why
I mean,
not?
it's
All
not
everybody talks about is on Encanto.
It's so
I mean,
good.
it's not like Encanto has been removed from digital services, unlike our next topic.
Wow. Did you do my job for me?
Yeah, I had to show you what's up.
Are you serious right now? You curse on my stream and then you do my job for me.
Fight, kiss.
When you catch these hands, I'm gonna come at you like Nico Robin from One Piece. I'm just gonna slap you all over.
I have a passport because I'll be in Canada.
I do have a passport. Oh my God, you're making me sick. Anyway, like I was going to say to follow up on my piece, is anybody excited about this? Anybody excited for any of the characters? Any of the actors that are going to be part of this?
I saw that there's a
Super
Red
excited.
Band trailer for this show, and I don't know if you know what that means, but it's R-rated. It's an R-rated trailer.
That means
I don't know
they
if you
might
know what that
cuss.
means.
They might cuss, unlike this stream where we don't do that.
There's gonna be bad words in it. They're gonna say wordy dirts.
I love it because I feel like everybody did know what a Red Band trailer was except for Jamie.
Wait, did you literally not know what a Red Band trailer was?
I thought I knew. I didn't want to be wrong, so I Googled it to make sure. That doesn't mean I didn't know what it was.
I mean, with just a like a thing. Now that they have like so many different series, like they have of course they got the the Jinx show that just came out, Arcane.
Arcane.
Yeah.
I also saw online that there's a Dota, which is competitor to League of Legends on there, and it's just like we're getting all the cartoons, and I'm not gonna hate. You know, the D&D friends. Maybe they'll bring back the Black Lagoon. No, nobody.
Never-
I mean, the
Lagoon?
only thing that I'm excited for is Moon Knight.
Okay, that trailer looks so good.
Okay,
It
yes.
looks so good.
It did, and I remember. Never mind. Okay.
No,
I was just
go
gonna say,
ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I got into like Marvel comics a couple years back, and I went after this one comic series called Moon Girl. This is a little girl with her dinosaur.
Dinosaur, yes.
Yeah, it was great, right? But I accidentally bought Moon Knight, and I brought it home. I was like, when does the little girl show up with her big dinosaur? I was like, what's all this existential horror going on?
Oh
But
my God.
anyway,
That's so
I can't wait
adorable.
for the show.
You know what, author? How about you do something? I put in the trailer link instead of listening to this one over here. You're making me sick. Oh my God. She's back.
What's an emergency D+ ration?
Ugh, all right. This show. I'm going to finish this show if it kills me. Speaking
I
of,
threw up a perfect segue for y'all to use, and nobody wanted to use it. You know, I'm just put that out there.
speaking
Nor the
of
most
airborne
underappreciated.
illnesses,
Yes.
that's
Airborne
a better
illness.
one. Javion, do you have some news about something that is actually being killed, literally?
Yeah. Pandemic's digital board game was removed, and we talked about this last week. All traces of digital board games for Pandemic had been removed, except for the ones on Tabletop Simulator, but we don't talk about Tabletop Simulator. They've all been removed, and we were all sort of trying to figure out why, speculating, and there was a bunch of mystery surrounding it. Well, now we know. They took it down off the shelf so they could polish it up and renovate it and make it nice and shiny and updated for the new generation, the new decade of board gamers. Because apparently the last Pandemic app that they made released 9 years ago. So now they felt like the quality and reliability needed an update. So now we can all rest easy. Mystery is solved. Scooby-Doo, go home. We can all finally rest.
Does Scooby-Doo have a home?
With Shaggy, I'm sure.
Yeah, I guess they lived in the van.
Yeah, the mystery van.
Yeah.
A home isn't a place; it's a community.
No, but really, is he homeless?
They live in that hashtag van life.
Yeah.
That dog
Housing
lives in that-
insecure.
The dog lives in that van?
They made
Yeah.
it canon in the live action movies that they're like, they live in that van,
Yeah,
right?
van
Everybody?
life.
The four of them?
Yes.
No, just Shaggy and Scooby.
Aren't there 5?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they're
So
five.
is the,
I think-
is the car in Shaggy's name? Like he never drives.
We have so many questions about Scooby-Doo that I've never
Yo, we need to get into that deep Scooby lure.
Our new Asmodee raising more questions than answers.
I need to know because that's animal cruelty if they're going to keep that dog outside. Anyway, moving on to some more lore going on. We have D&D book news. I don't know if that was a terrible one. I'm sorry. I ran out of we have more D&D releasing more monsters for your nerves for the squirrel friends out there. Noir, do you have some news about this to share?
I do not.
Davion, do you have
Okay, so
Bonsai, do you have some
No, I got it. Monsters of the Multiverse. D&D's next source book is coming out January 25th. The next, right? I'm super excited for it. The next version of D&D is going to be coming, and Monsters of the Multiverse is going to be our first taste of it. I hope it's like 6th edition. I'm hoping there's some really cool stuff in there, but more than that, there are more than 30 playable D&D races that are going to be included in the Monsters of the Multiverse. The new book includes more than 250 monsters, and some of them are far more dangerous than what we normally expect to see in D&D. And as we creep closer to the January 25th release date for D&D's next big source book, Mordekainen presents Monsters of the Multiverse. I can't say this book's name, but more details are going to be emerging. The book is going to be divided into 2 main parts. First will be the modification of 33 previously released races. Basically, all of the previously released non-standard races from all the various official source books are being bundled into this book and getting an update to bring them in line with D&D's new racial standards.
Yes.
I'm very curious if that means that if you buy this book on D&D Beyond, will you have all the races? Because normally, like you like if you bought a book that had some of the races, that gets you access in D&D Beyond. So if this is a shortcut to getting all the races, that's going to be very exciting for anybody that uses D&D Beyond. But that's just a question I have about it.
Well, you know how businesses want to make money, and they're going to devalue some of the books that you have to buy to get the race. That only happens in that book, and all stats are in that book. So I mean,
well,
maybe
the other question is that the reason that they're in this book is because they're being updated. So if you got the access to the race from the previous book, will they automatically update it for free for you? Or in order to get the updated race, will you then have to buy this new book, which seems a little sketchy if that's the case. So that's going to be something for us all to keep our eyes on. Just like Wizards gave Drow a big lore overhaul recently, Monsters of the Multiverse will be giving a similar lore update and rule overhauls to goblins and other goblinoids.
Goblinoids?
Other goblinoids.
You don't know
goblins, hobgoblins.
Is that really what it's called?
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
hobgoblins.
goblin. They're like their own little branch.
Bugbears, that kind of stuff.
I don't.
Orgs.
I didn't know that.
Orgs. No, ogres.
Orgs.
I'm really hoping that this just means that we are officially done with the days of any given species being considered inherently evil, because we're a little more nuanced and understanding of context these days. So, take that, Grognards. The second
Stop
half
killing goblins.
The second half of the book will contain over 250 monsters, just like the player races. Many of these monsters have previously appeared in other books, but they are being collected, rewritten, and rebalanced for this source book. Many of the monsters are being redone to fit D&D's new design guidelines. For instance, many of the monsters have had their alignments ditched. This is especially true for many of the extraplanar monsters that were often tied strongly to any given plane's alignment. Wizards has also taken this as an opportunity to rebalance monsters. All the challenge ratings have been kept the same, but the monsters themselves have been nerfed and buffed to match their CRs. Challenge ratings are dumb. I don't think they'll be able to fix it in this book. That's my personal opinion. They've never worked. They're still never going to work. Don't listen to challenge ratings. The physical book will initially not be sold on its own. It will be instead. It will instead be included in the $170 Dungeons and Dragons Rules expansion gift set. That includes a revised version of Xanathar's, a revised version of Tasha's, and a DM screen. Pre-orders for the standalone book are already taking place, but delivery for that is only set for May 27th.
No.
Nope.
All right. I have some scandals.
May 17th. May 17th.
May 17th. Don't worry. I have some scandals with this that they haven't quite said, okay? I don't have my tin hat, but I've been saying that they're coming out with 6th edition. This is just 6th edition without the name of being a 6th edition, because you got the player's handbook. You got Xanathar's, Xanathar's guide is acting like as a general monster. This is going to be the monster manual. We got another new player's handbook and a DM guide. This is 6th edition. They haven't said it yet. Trust me. It's
okay.
6th edition. I'm not crazy.
Yeah, you don't sound crazy.
No, I'm not.
Really normal.
I like very much that whatever that floofy thing was took the place of your tin hat.
I agree with you. I mean, to me, one, I don't really like this idea that you can't buy the book on its own. That you have to buy it as part of this gift set, especially because of the fact that they're redoing so many of the monsters. So I don't know, but I guess $170 not that bad. But didn't they already sell Xanathar's and Tasha's? Didn't this already come out, the revised version?
As I think PDFs is what I saw. I didn't see any physical copies of books. There was errata on the website for sure.
So if you've already bought the PDFs, though,
is that how you say that, errata? Oh man, I've been saying that wrong for years, bro.
It's Italian.
I hate it. I only speak American.
Okay.
Soon you're going to be speaking Canadian.
Oh, that's true.
I've never mispronounced anything ever in my life. So I think that if you've already bought one of these versions before, I don't know. That to me is kind of weird that you can only buy a bundle. I don't know.
Well, the errata is free, so you can actually see a lot of the changes for free. thankfully.
I feel like
but
they should
$100,
offer, a
$70 is
discount.
so steep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I mean,
go ahead.
if you bought the 2 other versions, I feel like you should just get a little bit of a discount. Be like, hey, here's proof of purchase.
Mhm.
Because, everything within like 2 years had to be bought via online. So there's no like, I don't have a record of my purchase, but trust me, there's like, hey, look, I had to go through the internet to do this. So I don't know. Maybe it's just, yes, it's a steep price, but it is pretty, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I think that really the real thing is that May 17th, this book is coming out, unless you want to buy that big ass bundle. But I'm excited for this because I love monsters. I want to smooch on them. And
You're one of
What?
those.
I'm not about
No.
to smooch on a monster. You guys are real speciesist over here. And I'm glad that there's even more attention to it. And I think that this is like, they're setting up for some big news, I think. I don't know. I have to get my tinfoil hat out for that.
Speaking of,
All right, you guys. Moving on. I have stormed the kingdom. I have destroyed the walls. I have drained the moat. I have executed all of the royal children so that the lineage dies here and now. Okay. I have burned all of the heart flowers so that no one can be named Black Panther after me. I now rule over Wakanda as a queen, a dark queen. That's right, the darkest queen. And this is not a race thing. I am the Kickstarter queen, okay? The first order that I have, besides the fact that we are going to recolonize the earth, which was the literal plot line of that movie that we all love, is Javion. I hear that you have some adorable news, some adorable Kickstarters.
yes, big news for little creatures. Adorablins. Adorablins are goblins, but cute. It is the adorable pocket-sized storytelling game. It's powered by the apocalypse, like all your favorite RPGs are. Yes, all of them. Like, for instance, Avatar Legends that just came out of Kickstarter. You may have heard of a little game called Apocalypse World. Anyway,
Those are the ones you lead with?
and Fate. That's good. That's pretty good too.
Shadows, baby.
Yeah, that one too. That one's great. Adorablins are super cute, and this is a Kickstarter for a very easy to learn, very short storytelling game that fits in your pocket. So you could take it around in a little tin, and it's got little dice in it, and you got little cards, and you put them out on the table, and everybody chooses a little Adorablin, and you also get companions. So you can have Flappy, the little bird companion. You can have Shroomy, a mushroom companion, or you can get a brother and sister, Roly and Poly, to be your little beetle companions. So it's just very, very cute. The narrator cards make it really easy for you to jump into a game without having to learn a ton of rules. And everybody gets a little reference card so they can remember how their character works. But all in all, it's just like a little snack-sized role-playing, not really role-playing, it's more storytelling game. Although you do get into a little bit of fights, because you can see little goblins with their like armor, which is like somebody wearing like a strainer on their head, with a little turkey leg in one hand and a T-bone steak in the other as a shield. It's the cutest thing. You have to check out this Kickstarter. And it finally, well, not finally. I've seen a lot of goblin content that's trying to change the stigma around goblins, and I am a champion of cute goblins. I believe that our tiny little green creatures need to be protected. So if you are like me and you love goblins and you want to play with more of them, you've got 13 days to back this Kickstarter, and it's super cheap. The first pledge is only $14, or you can just get the digital version for $9 on Kickstarter. And they're already fully funded, so you know you're going to get your stuff. Just help them hit some stretch goals, please. I want to see more Adorablin stuff. Anyway, there you go. Adorablins, 13 days to go.
That was adorable. I think that the re-examination of goblins has happened in our culture because we have all realized how much in common we have with the goblins. And many of us over the course of 2020 and 2021 became goblins, home goblins, in fact. So I think that this is really great. Moving on, I've got the awesome cards, hand-drawn. Sorry. Arthur should have told me to get water before we started this.
Gotta stay hydrated.
I know.
Stay hydrated. Here's a cup.
Wow.
Thank you.
Hydro homies.
Blaming other people for your decisions. I mean, just couldn't be
Meet me outside, Noir. Yeah, nobody wanted that one. Actually, I'll cover it. It's okay. So we've got some awesome cards. This one is a deck that was made to benefit a children's hospital in Indiana. This is benefiting the Beacons Children's Hospital of South Bend, Indiana. Every single card in this deck was hand drawn by a child in the children's hospital. If you're looking for a playing card deck for any of your games that needs a playing card deck, I love collecting playing card decks. Actually, I just got one that I did a Kickstarter for. Where is that deck that I just got one for? I got this one, the Refine and Play. I Kickstarted this one like 80 months ago, because that's how long it's taking to get Kickstarter rewards these days. And this one, you probably can't really tell, but it's got these like wood carvings that are like tarot card decks.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah. So it's a good one. See, you guys, you donate to a Kickstarter, you get some really cool things in the mail. And sometimes you forget that you did a Kickstarter and then you get it in the mail and you're like, what is this? And then you're like, oh, heck, it's that thing I Kickstarted. You could do that with
Christmas.
Yeah, it's amazing. You're just like, oh, that's where all my money went. I remember now. So this one is a deck consistent of illustrations from patients that are ages 4 to 16. There's 52 unique drawings in every single deck. All the funding for this Kickstarter goes towards the production of the cards. And the cards, each of the kids gets to have their own deck of cards. The illustrations are super cute. This is really great. I think that one of the hardest things is when you're a child and you spend years of your childhood in hospital. I've had family members who spend years of their childhood in hospitals, and it's awful. When you're a kid, you're supposed to be out playing, experiencing life. And if you think that spending 2 years on your couch in a panini is rough, okay, you need to think about all the kids that are out there spending years of their childhoods in hospitals. So donate to this one. I love it. It's really cute. I'm probably gonna, did I already do this one? Sometimes I just do them and then I forget I do them and then they arrive in the mail, but you can do it too. This one has how many more days? Oh, I just skipped away from it. Oh no. Don't look at me while I figure this out. This one has 28 days to go, ending on Saturday, February 19th. So you still have plenty of time to pledge to that one. So yeah. The next one that I have is Forbidden Psalm, Regicide. Regicide is such a metal word. Oh my God. This one is Regicide, which means killing royalty, which is kind of like what I was talking about. Oh wait, sorry. Was something discussed? Sorry. I did it again because it's here. This one is for the Morkborg people. Morkborg. If you are playing Morkborg, which is one of my favorites, every single time I say that, I always think of the Swedish chef from the Muppets. He would play Morkborg. So this is a new third-party campaign for the Forbidden Psalms from the Morkborg campaigning. Just like all the other things that happens in the Morkborg world, this one is metal AF. From the art of it, it looks super gnarly. There's a whole bunch of new lore. All the kind of art that happens, it reminds me a lot of. Did you guys ever listen to Tool in the early 2000s?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Never stopped listening.
Thank you. I had a really long tool phase, which I'm sure we all did, and a very long a perfect circle phase. And it reminds me a lot of that kind of art stuff. So, Arthur, please. Oh my goodness. I'm going to get through this. Excuse me. So, you've got 12 new scenarios, multiple finales, new terrains, new characters. You've got a digital version and a physical version, soft cover and hard cover to choose from. And you can continue doing the Morkborg fight if you've gone through all of the different scenarios. This is another one of the supplements. This one's really cool. It's very metal. I don't know what else to say about it. It's cool. It's metal. Play it and start listening to Tool. They're a great band. This one has 15 more days to go, ending on Saturday, February 5th. Wow, it's already almost February. That's very terrifying to think of.
And to pretend to care about Black people.
Oh my God. Moving on. We've been in that for like 2 years now. Moving on. My last one that I have is a game that is based off of the story of Stonewall. This is a single session RPG for 3 to 4 players. If you guys don't know the history of Stonewall, it is one of the most influential gay rights actions that has ever happened in the country, certainly, particularly the Western world. And the history of Stonewall has been whitewashed for the past several years, as also has, sidebar, the legacy of Martin Luther King. Read Martin Luther King's actual words, not the ones they put on gift cards, okay? Sidebar, I know Martin Luther King Day was earlier in the week, but just read his entire words. And I just, sidebar. Anyway, Stonewall has an incredible history of activism by a lot of Black and brown and trans and gender non-binary people. And this game, which is from a company in the UK, is a way of engaging with those stories of Stonewall, what actually happened. I love the art. It's black and white. It feels like a graphic novel. There's like different kind of character sheets of people that have actually engaged based off of real people who were involved in Stonewall. There's kind of conversation about making a real historical event into a game. But I think for a lot of people, this is a way of deepening their empathy and engaging more with history other than just sort of like reading it in a book, which I think a lot of people think, oh, it's a book. It's boring. It happened a long time ago. This is ancient history. But when you play it in a game, you're like, oh, actually, like these people's lives are at stake. And a lot of the people who rioted at Stonewall are still alive. They're still alive today. They're still out here. They have gone nowhere. Okay. So this game looks really interesting. I love the art. I love the designs. This one has 26 days to go, ending on February 17th. If you want to know more about this history, or if you have somebody that's interested in Stonewall and the legacy of that, this is a great, great, great present. All right, Javion, wrap us up.
Awesome. All right. I'm going to try to make this quick, but this Kickstarter is really important to me. It's called Limitless Heroics. So, like I said, I'm going to try to make this quick, but I have a lot to say about this topic.
Go ahead.
So, Limitless Heroics is supplementary material for 5th edition. Its headline is Better Worlds via Dice and Disabilities for 5th edition. So, we play lots of RPGs, and in our fantasy worlds that we create, we are constantly making characters that we want to see ourselves as, right? We are constantly making characters and giving them abilities and leveling up and all of these things. And we're aspiring to different abilities or different traits and things like that. But in the process of that, we very often forget to include the people who are real and exist that don't resemble our aspirations and our goals, and we forget about them. We leave them behind, and what happens is we end up playing these games and they feel excluded, and then they end up being silent. And why? It's because we're ignoring their existence, right? So Limitless Heroics is setting out to play tabletop role-playing games, but with inclusivity of our disabled and neurodivergent and ill community. So what you get from the supplementary stuff, you get a ton of different things, but I'll just highlight, you get 450 plus traits. You get over 450 traits, like, for instance, blindness or some kind of disability, and it's localized to different areas of your body. So you might have a disfiguration or inability to use or something like that of a different feature of your body. So for instance, like your nose, your mouth, or your eyes, there's 78 random tables to help you choose or just generate the traits randomly. There's an entire spectrum when it comes to severity. So you've got like people with illnesses that are maybe receding, or tumors or things like that are actually starting to go away. And you got things that are like, I'm like chronically ill, like very morbid and things like that. You get an entire range. And I think that this adds something so unique to 5th edition that it really just cannot be ignored. One huge part of our games that we play that I feel like sometimes gets overlooked is the fact that we play, and sure, it's very fun sometimes to try to live out our fantasies of being epic adventurers with, extraordinary abilities. But what people don't always realize is that we don't love characters from like movies and TV shows and things like that for what they're awesome at all the time. We love them for their weaknesses and their faults because it makes them relatable. And when you have a character with maybe not perfect eyesight, or maybe it doesn't have perfect use of their brain functions or their motor functions, you add so much richness to your games and so much more realism. And it's a completely different avenue that gets like very easily overlooked. So all writers, editors, and artists that were hired for this book that they're making are disabled, neurodivergent, and or have mental or chronic illnesses. Not only that, but they talked to dozens of people with diverse conditions, making sure that their game mechanics were representing a full spectrum of experiences. So another really cool thing that they added to the book was this tutorial section that doesn't just show you how to use the tools mechanically, but also just has articles discussing how and why we need to implement these different options and how to discuss it with your players. And I think most importantly for me, all the common tropes that you have to avoid when trying to add something like this to your game. This is something that I would honestly cry if I could see this, like somebody trying to use this at like a gaming convention that I went to, and I randomly stumbled upon somebody adding this into their games. And you'll notice that there's not a lot of content out there. That's why this is a Kickstarter. And I just want to read off a quick little blurb from their Kickstarter. This is a movement. Limitless Heroics is more than just an RPG book. It's a petition. If you back this project and you communicate it, if you back this project, you are communicating to every game publisher on Earth that disabled people exist and can easily be included in their games. Emphasis on easily. They were able to do this, and they just put it up on Kickstarter. And I mean, if you look at the content, like, why haven't we seen this before now? Why are we just now seeing these people getting together to do this? So I've already backed this project. I really hope you guys do too. You got 12 days left. And by backing this Kickstarter, you also help them get the word out and spread this kind of content to other developers. So we're not just going to be seeing WotC or D&D editing their monsters to be more inclusive on a racial end of the conversation, but also let's try to include even more people who don't feel like they have the chance to see themselves in the games that they're playing.
Javion, that was beautiful. You're a beautiful being. You are the most precious, never change. Nor why can't you be more like Javion?
I knew you were going to say something.
A wholesome baby boy who every single time we talk, I always feel so bad because I always expose you to something about culture that you didn't know about before that maybe you shouldn't have. But that was absolutely lovely. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think that these kinds of things are important. And I'm glad, I know this isn't the end, but I'm glad that we've had this platform to be able to show people and share with more people the kinds of things that are happening, and the more inclusive, diverse things that are out there for more people to be able to enjoy and play games, which hopefully we'll be able to keep doing more of. We don't know. Yeah, we literally, go ahead, Jared.
No, please, go ahead.
I was going to say, we literally have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow, and it's both exciting and terrifying. But
yeah, this is something that should be standard. This should be something that comes included in official content for any game.
Yeah,
remembering that these people actually exist and that they're real, and not being afraid of like what people are going to say or do when it comes to using or abusing this content. You have the power to make sure that those things are kept to a minimum.
Yeah.
You can include helpful, useful, smart, thoughtful, like reasonable information, like tutorials like these people are doing in your content to make sure that that stuff doesn't happen.
I agree. On that note, that wonderful note, carry that with you. Even though things feel bad, there's always small things that you can do in order to make them feel better in your personal life. Noir, I see that glint in your eyes. You better relax, okay?
I didn't even do nothing.
You better relax, okay? Adjust that face, all right? So, thank you to Javion, Bonsai, and especially Noir for joining me this episode. Thank you.
You're kind of welcome.
Thank you to the audience for joining us on TableTakes. We'll be back again next week. You'll really want to hang out with us next week. It'll be an extra special episode of TableTakes. If you can't join us, you can always watch us 24 hours later on YouTube as well. But tell your friends, tell your neighbors, maybe you should call your ex-boyfriend and be like, thank you for not changing the Netflix password for the past few years. Like, I think it's a really solid thing that you've done. No hard feelings.
If you break up with somebody, that's the first thing you do. You disconnect them from everything.
Listen,
you disconnect them from everything.
Some exes, it's a solid. They don't change it. Anyway, Monday, we've got the board games for the Brothers Mirth coming up at 6 o'clock. This is all Pacific Standard Time. Wednesday, 10 a.m., this game gets dicey. And Friday, we'll be back again at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Remember to follow, subscribe, slap that notification button, and tickle that subscription button, just like that. And if you... And if you want to connect with other Gen Con fans, I only do it to make Jamie make a face. Please check out our Discord as well. Thank you guys so much. Thanks, Author, for helping us in the background. Marcus, if you're out there, get well soon. We miss you. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye. Hydrated.
Bye. Bing bong.